A great Boxing Day game between two of the best sides in the league ended in a fair draw. On the whiteboard, I will be focusing on the midfield battle and why United struggled to handle Leicester's left side attacks. First, let's look at the stats. Leicester had the better of the possession and throughout the game played the better football, but United showed once again how potent their attacking game is by creating the greater number of big chances. Despite being second best for parts of the game, if United had taken their chances, they would have won the game comfortably. Let's move on to the whiteboard. The midfield battle proved a problem for United and was second best throughout the game. When Leicester had the ball, Ndidi stayed as a 6, Tielemans roamed as an 8, and Maddison would pull away from Fred and McTominay into wider areas. In these positions, Fred, McTominay and Fernandes couldn't get themselves organised as to who was picking up who, and all too often, Leicester's midfield had too much time and space on the ball. But on top of this, the work rate of Leicester's midfield was greater than United's. Going to screenshots of the game, Castagne has the ball on the left, and you can see Tielemans is in space with McTominay not close enough to him. Castagne overhits his pass, it puts Tielemans in a 50-50 with Fred. Tielemans is much more committed in the tackle and wins it. The ball falls to Maddison, the play is switched out to Albrighton, who plays the ball down the line to Justin, and he plays the ball into the box for Vardy, and the effort goes over the bar. The next situation, Fernandes is 2 against 1 with Tielemans and Ndidi. The ball is played to Tielemans. In this 2 against 1 situation, Fernandes holds his position because he doesn't want to sell himself and get taken out of the game, but Tielemans shapes the pass to Ndidi, drops Fernandes and lays it off. You can see how much space Maddison was in if the ball was switched, but look at how United's midfield is out of kilter with Leicester's midfield. This final situation, all 3 of Leicester's midfield are unmarked. Tielemans and Ndidi have switched roles. Ndidi has pushed up the pitch into an 8 position. Fernandes doesn't want to drop that far back and leaves him. Tielemans has dropped into the 6th position, and McTominay doesn't want to get pulled up the pitch that far, and Maddison has pulled out wide to the right. Although you can't see Fred in this screenshot, he is central, leaving Maddison free on the right. Because the ball is going to be played to Tielemans, McTominay has to press him, but his starting position was too far away and he sells himself. Tielemans lets the ball run across his body, takes McTominay out of the game, and now all 3 of Leicester's midfield are goal side of 2/3 of United's. The alternating of positions between Tielemans and Ndidi and the positions Maddison was taking up away from Fred caused United a lot of problems in midfield. Moving on to why United struggled to deal with Castagne and Barnes down United's right. In previous analysis, I have highlighted United's inability to defend wide areas when the opposition overload in wide areas, mainly due to Ollie's tactics to leave his wide men up the pitch for a counter-attack, and when United's wide men are in defensive positions, they are not very good at defending. Barnes would take up an inside left position to pull Lindelof off the touchline, which would create the space for Castagne to attack, and banking on United's wide player not going with Castagne. This was an area Leicester consistently found space throughout the game. In this first situation, Evans is on the ball and about to play the ball into Barnes. You can see Barnes is off the touchline and pulled Lindelof off the touchline with him. Barnes has created that space for Castagne to attack, but James is in a position to deal with Castagne. Evans plays the ball to Barnes, James gets attracted to the ball and leaves Castagne unmarked. Barnes lays it off to Tielemans and he threads the ball to Castagne in acres of space with James nowhere near him. For Barnes' goal, it was an inverted exploitation of the overload out wide. He comes in field, but at the same time, Vardy pulls across to the left to hold Lindelof and stop him from going out to Barnes. Barnes is now in an area where he is no one's man. As he's about to shoot, look how far across Vardy has gone to ensure Lindelof can't come out to Barnes, and despite 4 players being in the vicinity of Barnes, they have all left it to each other because he isn't their man. It wasn't just James though. Nothing changed in the second half when Rashford moved across. Evans is on the ball and Lindelof is 2-on-1 with Barnes and Castagne, with Rashford up the pitch, not interested in dropping back to support Lindelof. When the ball is played into Barnes, Lindelof has to pass Barnes onto McTominay and go across to Castagne. Even then, Lindelof is nowhere near him when Barnes plays the ball. Difficult situation for Lindelof to deal with. This last situation is a borderline joke. One simple pass out to Castagne, and Lindelof again is 2-on-1. Look how far away Rashford is from Castagne, and McTominay is pointing to pass Barnes on instead of helping Lindelof. Another simple ball down the line, and Barnes is in behind United's defensive line. How is Lindelof supposed to deal with this situation on his own, with no support from his teammates? And you can also see the domino effect this has caused. By Bailly getting pulled across, it has created huge spaces centrally for Leicester's midfield runners to attack. Once again, it's another game where United's appalling defending of wide areas has been exposed. The Devils' verdict is, it may seem a bit harsh to point out the faults in United's game when they drew away to a side above them in the league and missed a number of good chances. But once again, the individual moments belong to United, but the tactical control of the game was the opposition's. I don't see how this can be sustainable. If United tightened up on some basic aspects of their game, like improving the defending of wide areas, United would take sides like Leicester to the cleaners with the attacking potency United have in the team. The midfield had a bad day without the ball, but we can forgive them that because of how well they have played this season. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on how the game went, and please like, subscribe and share, and I'll see you in the next